Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and many of you have been asking me if I was going to unbox or review the black titanium version of the Apple Watch Ultra 2. And while I had not originally done that, I really like the new black titanium Milanese Loop and the new finish. So I thought I'd unbox it, take a look at it, and just see what it looks like next to the current version that we have already. Now this comes in at a very expensive $799, goes up to $899 with the black titanium Milanese Loop, and the overall packaging is this nice gray color. So let's go ahead and open it up here. So we'll open it like this. And just like the previous package that we have the same sort of paperwork. So let me set the outside wrapper aside. And here we have a pamphlet that says Apple Watch. Shows some of the new bands that you can pick up. So there's new bands in new colors for the trail, alpine, and ocean bands. And then also if we go through here, again, it's the same manual, but just redone with sort of the black titanium look. Again, we see the new apps with Tides and the Depth app. And then you have some paperwork back here with your little warranty card. If we set that aside, here's the watch itself, and then we have the new black titanium Milanese Loop band. So if we flip this over, let's pull off the pull tabs here. There we go. And let's see what we've got inside. There, I think I've got all of that here. And inside, the packaging matches the outside that we saw before. It says designed in California and then gives their coordinates. And inside here, let's see if we get anything special. It looks like it's the basic charger that we have. So the typical USB-C to Apple Watch charger. Nothing particularly different there. So no special color to go along with it. And that looks like it's about it right there. So here is the watch itself. So the watch itself is no different other than the color. But let's pull this open here. There we go, it's stuck on. So we'll take a close look at that in just a moment, but let me set this aside. And if we take the current Apple Watch Ultra 2, which is the exact same thing, there are no differences other than if you're in the United States, you won't have the O2 app or the blood oxygen app. So if we take a look around the outside edge, it looks exactly the same. On the right-hand side, we have our digital crown, of course, with our black titanium, and then our button. If we look at the bottom, exact same thing, where you place your band, so it fits all the same bands. We have our action button, along with our speaker. We also have a siren on this, which we don't have on the Series 10, and then nothing really different on the top. If we take a look at the display itself, of course, we'll have to turn it on, but basically it's the exact same. It will fit all of your bands. It just has this really nice look to it. Also, if we take a look at the sensors, that's what they look like. So on the bottom, it doesn't look really any different there. It just says 49 millimeters titanium, and you can see it says ceramic case, sapphire crystal. So exact same sensors and everything else. And then if we compare this color with maybe the new jet black that we have. So here's jet black next to it from the aluminum version, next to the black titanium, and then next to the titanium version of the Series 10 that's glossy. This is maybe more of a dress watch. It looks a little bit nicer, where the Apple Watch Ultra 2 is more of maybe a rugged watch or an outdoors watch, but it's hard to say how well either of these finishes will hold up over time. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the actual band. That's something that I've really been looking forward to. I looked a little bit at it at the store and it was just out of stock. Now by itself, it's $199, and you can also get it in the natural titanium finish. So if you wanted to do that, you can, but let's go ahead and open it up here. And you'll see on the back, it says titanium Milanese Loop, and that's about it. So let's open it up. There we go. And inside, we'll slide this out. And then at the top here, of course, you can see how to install it, but we'll slide this out, and then we just have our normal paperwork in here. So nothing special in the box and no stickers or anything like that. So it's showing how to attach it. So it looks like the long part goes at the top, and that's how you attach it. So let's take a close look at the band. So if we take the band out of here, lift here, looks like we just pull. There we go. Let me set the packaging aside, and we'll remove it like that. And then we have a little bit more packaging, so it's already surrounded outside the clasp itself. There we go. And then inside we have it as well. So that's all the packaging removed. Let me set that aside and we'll take a closer look. Here we have the Slate Milanese Loop that came with my Apple Watch Series 10, and side by side, the new titanium Milanese Loop feels a little bit lighter. Definitely has less weight to it. It's incredibly light with the titanium. So I think this is stainless steel with the Milanese Loop on the left. On the right, we have titanium. It feels incredible. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. Now around the band itself, you can see up close the sort of weave that it has on the side as well. So that gives you an idea of what it looks like, how it bends. And then as we go across, you'll see the different look to it. And then we have the clasp here. So basically we just pull these, or pull them this way, I guess, and it pops open. So we can place it in like this and it locks into place. So it does not come loose. You just push it like this and then it pops out. So it's an interesting sort of mechanism here to lock it. And then if we want to move this, I believe we just flip this up, flip this piece up, and then we can slide it on the band itself to adjust it to our fit. So we can slide this to wherever we want, adjust it how we want, and then when we're done, lock it in place and it won't move. For a closer look up at the mechanism here, you can see that's the mechanism there, just sort of slides over the top. There's nothing really holding it. Underneath here, it also says titanium grade 5, 49 millimeters. So that's what it looks like. And then you have your typical sort of band attachments here that go on the watch itself. Now to show you a little bit closer up of the mechanism here. So if we place this here, sort of clicks in, it's not going to come out. We pull these two buttons and it unlinks. So you can see the overall piece here, how it actually slides in and then locks in place. It's not going anywhere. It feels very secure. And also one thing I noticed is the titanium seems to leave a lot of fingerprints on it here, just like the sides of the iPhone. So just keep that in mind. It's a little bit difficult to clean off as well, but that gives you an idea of what the mechanism is like. When you pull the levers here, it seems to just let go of these sides. So if you just pull like that, you can see it move there. As we sort of move in, you pull both and it unlocks from both sides. So let me see if I can get this set up. So it looks like we attach it here at the top like this, the bottom like this. So that's locked in place. And then I'm probably going to need a little bit more of this myself. So we'll bring this way out and see what we've got. So let's put this on like that, bring it around. And then I'll need to adjust it to about here or so. So let me slide it down, get it to where I want. We'll click it into place, slide it up to where it's comfortable. So again, slide it to where you think is comfortable, maybe a little bit more. We'll undo that. Slide it up to here, lock it down, see if we can attach it. So it is a little bit tricky to adjust, but I think it'll be fine once you adjust it. So if we slide it in like that, now it's locked in place, and I think it looks pretty great. You do have the loop here on the top. That's how they actually show it in the diagram here. So you can see the loop is at the top. That's how I have it there, and it looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and turn it on. So we'll boot it up, get it set up, and I have my iPhone nearby, so let's go ahead and tap continue. So we'll get it set up. It says set up as a new Apple Watch, set up for myself. We'll line it up with the camera here. There we are. It recognizes it and attaches to it. There we go. And now it's paired. So we'll get this set up. It shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Now this does not have the S10 SIP in it. It actually has the S9. So the latest Apple Watches, Series 10, actually have the S10 chip. So it is a little bit older, but that shouldn't really affect the overall usage of it. We'll tap continue here. Now it's asking about safety, how it can help me in an emergency. So we'll tap continue, and then it says set up cellular. Now I actually have cellular on this Apple Watch Ultra 2. I'm going to transfer it. So let's go ahead and set it up. It quickly set it up. It reached out to my carrier, and that was it. So it should have moved the plan from my other Apple Watch Ultra to this one, which is great. So it shouldn't take too much longer, hopefully here. It says cellular is ready. We'll tap continue. Now it's explaining how double tap works, so you can double tap your fingers. Then it's explaining the action button and how we want to use it. We can set it up here, so we can set it up for the flashlight or dive. I typically use it for workout, so we'll tap continue. Then we can have the depth app open when it's submerged, so we'll do that. Then it's talking about diving safety. now it's actually syncing, and it looks like it's almost done already. So maybe it was syncing in the background as I was selecting those options. Now everything is synced and ready to go, but I wanted to show you what the band looks like on the natural titanium version. They do actually make a natural titanium version of this band to match your Apple Watch Ultra 2, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. I think it looks pretty good if you wanted to mix and match it, but it is something that matches the new one a little bit better. So it says, welcome to Apple Watch. We'll tap start here. Then it says, welcome to watchOS 11. We'll skip that. We know all about that. And then it says Wi-Fi calling, emergency address updated. And now we have the same black watch face already set up. And the one advantage of the Series 10 is off angle. So if we turn these both on, you can see off angle. The new Series 10 is actually a little bit brighter off angle. The colors start to shift on the Ultra 2 where they don't on the Series 10. So you can see that, and it's a little bit easier to see when it's off axis. Also, the screen itself is actually slightly smaller than the new Series 10. It's very, very close as they both have fairly large bezels, but it is something that's slightly different on both of them. So I just thought I'd point that out. There is a very big difference as far as the overall thickness though. So you can see them side by side. The thickness of the Ultra 2 is much larger. It has much better battery life as well, and additional sensors, dual band GPS, and things like that. So I think overall, again, with the aluminum version, the new Series 10 are definitely a lot lighter than the Ultra, but both of them are very nice. It's just up to you what you want to go with. Again, we don't have the blood oxygen app in the US, but if we go into our options here, we'll go in, we can go into our apps and you'll see all the things you would expect, heart rate and more, but we don't have that blood oxygen sensor here. Maybe one day they'll turn it on. It doesn't look like the sensors are any different. It's just a matter of maybe them having to enable it. We have some of the new apps to go along with it and the siren as well. And to see what some of the watch faces look like with it, here's the reflections one. It looks pretty great. If we go over to modular compact, we have that. And of course I could set up any of these new ones, but one of my favorites is actually modular. So if we go into modular, once you add modular, the way I typically configure this, if we take a look at my Ultra 2, I actually have a different option here. So if we go over, this is how I typically configure my watch. So I'll have Lumi in the middle, and let's set it up the same way. So we'll go ahead and do that. So let's take a look here. We've got the time there, then we'll swipe over. We'll change this to maybe all of the colors here. So I'm using multicolor there. Let's go ahead and swipe over for the complications. We'll change this one to messages. So I don't want astronomy, I want messages. Then under my apps, I have this app called Lumi that I like. So we can count down to golden hour, select what we'd like, first light, last light, sunrise. We'll go to golden hour here, and then I typically have music in the bottom right, and then I typically select temperature for the weather in the bottom left, and then we'll just lock it in. So I typically use this one. We have to go into location here. There we go, and it may take a moment for that to update, but that's basically what I'm using. So that should work fine. It just may take a moment to update properly, as it typically does. There we go. Now that's the typical watch face I use, and I do like the modular Ultra version as well. But when it comes to the new black titanium version, I just wanted to share what it looked like, what the band is like, and there's not much more other than that. Unfortunately, they didn't update it, and I really think they should have just added this color last year, but maybe they wanted to make it last. You really don't need to purchase this if you already have an Ultra 2, but I think they both look great side by side. It's just up to you which you like best. I really like this band as it's super lightweight, and one last thing about it is so far it does not seem to pinch my hair on my arms. So if you have hair on your arms, the other Milanese Loop band actually really pinches my hair. So let me get this on here. It is a little bit tricky to attach. There we go. But the other one that I have right here, this actually pinches the hair on my arms pretty badly. You get used to it a little bit, but this actually doesn't feel like the same sort of pinches happening or anything the same. So I'll definitely use this for a while and see what it's like, but let me know what you think of this in the comments below. One last thing I forgot to mention is when you wear the new Series 10, you barely know it's there. With the Ultra, you definitely know it's there. So if you want something that's out of the way, I would go with the Series 10. If you want something that's big and rugged, well, go with the Ultra. If you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, of course, I'll link it in the description like I normally do for free. And if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.